Welcome to In the Gardens. I'm horticulturist Greg Lusk. We're here at the Amarillo Botanical Gardens. Today we're going to talk about pruning roses and weeding. We all know that those things are about to be happening soon, and it's time to get with it before you get behind. So I'm really enjoying these David Austin roses. This is Darcy Bustle. It's a fragrant burgundy rose. It's just beautiful. This is a tree form, so it's right up here where you can smell it. It's bloomed well, but it's time to do a little pruning on it. So, you know, these spent flowers need to be removed, and there's a specific way to do this which will encourage more blooming. So you locate the spent flowers, and then you count the leaves. This whole section here is a leaf, and as you see, like, I'll remove a leaf here. This is right at the flower. This section of leaf has only 2 on it. Usually has 3. Looks like one of them was eaten off by something. But if you go down here, here's 5. There's the main leaf, and then there's 2 sets. So if you prune that right above that node that has the first set of 5 leaves, that node will bloom again, and it'll continue all summer as long as you feed the rose well, water it well, and keep it pruned. So that's the easy way to prune roses at this time of the year. Do it weekly for best growth and development of roses, and you'll be rewarded. So here's the old flowers. Here's the first leaves that right after under the old flowers. It's got 3 leaflets. Then you locate this. There's 5 leaves on this, leaflets on this leaf. So you're going to prune it right here. It makes the plant look better, as well as that's going to bloom from that nose. Always use clean and sharp shears for all your cuts. So we're going to talk about weeding. It's very important you stay on top of your weeds. They're not only unsightly, they really rob a lot of nutrients and water from the plants you've nurtured. So you want to stay on top of it. Don't let them get giant and then try to go after them. That's just a lot of work. It gets overwhelming, really, if you let a bed go. If every time you go out and inspect your beds and view them, enjoy them, you pull some weeds, you can stay on top of them, and that's the best way to do it. There's some particularly nasty weeds that are really hard pulling, and it's just not going to do it. Nutsedge, Bermuda grass, and bindweed are all going to require either some covering with plastic and solarizing them for a while to get rid of them, which is a great economical and environmentally friendly way to do it. But we're going to talk about these other weeds. Here we have some elm trees that are always a nuisance. Hackberry tree here. Those just grow up to cause a lot of trouble. You know, they always grow up in the middle of a rose bush, and for that reason we got these long-handled pliers. You know, it's really hard to weed within a rose bush, but it's really hard to weed within a rose bush. But if you have something, you can grab that weed and pull it out by the roots when it's tiny. You won't have that problem, because we've all had roses that were destroyed by an elm tree coming up through it. So you can reach into the middle of something and easily pull it up and get the roots with these. Make sure you get the root, not just break off the plant. It's always easiest just to do it by hand, of course. That's the fastest way, but these really are a great tool for getting into something stickery like a cactus or a rose. I do a lot of weeding with a knife or this kind of weeder. They do a great job. I can cut things off right at below the soil, or use the knife and reach in and cut stuff off and do a great job weeding of smaller weeds. Now, if you're mulching well and doing a good job with that, like this bed is, you're not going to have a tremendous amount of weeds. So mulching will conserve the moisture that we've been blessed with lately, and it'll also help with the weeding, because a lot of weeds require sunlight to germinate. The seed requires sunlight. So if you rob the area of sunlight with the mulch, you stop that germination of that seed, and it really helps you out. So be diligent with your weeding. They're going to be really bad for a while because of the rain, and then it'll get easier as the summer goes. Now, a little bit more about watering. turn your sprinklers off right now, because all this abundant rain, we need to really conserve water. Even though it doesn't seem like we're in a drought right now, we always need to conserve water. I notice when I'm driving around town that there's a lot of places that are still watering. They just set their timer and they're letting it go, and it's really a shame to see that good rainwater is being replaced by that city water that's not so good quality. It's hard on the environment, it's hard on the soil, and it's hard on your budget. So shut your sprinklers off and turn them back on when it's time. Thank you.